Hello everyone, and welcome to Straight Chilling. Each week we watch and review a horror film for your entertainment. You can send all questions and comments to straightchillingpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to keep chilling.
Yeah, we straight chillin', serial killing. 5 cold villains on the mic, got you reeling. 5-star ratings from the floor to the ceiling. If you get your 1 star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ, all the 1s and 2s. By the name Elzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all in 2. And prepare to hear the legend of the Straight Chillin' crew.
What up, nerds? And welcome to a very special Black Friday edition of Straight Chilling. Of course, you got your boy Bob on the mic. With me, as always, we got Randy Gandy G-Landy calling in from just outside Chicago. What's up, Randy?
Ahoy, hoy.
And of course, we got Soju calling in from Southern Korea. What's up, Soju?
What up? It's your boy, Soju.
Turkey stains.
Oh,
So,
I wish.
Black Friday stains.
Black Friday.
if you've been listening to our shows as of late, we've been talking about something special we're rolling out very soon, starting December 2nd. It's our Bracket of Blood. We're trying to figure out what is the best horror movie of the decade, potentially the best decade of horror ever to happen. Justin, this is kind of your spiel. I'm going to hand it over to you, and we're going to talk about how this shit's going to work, how you can participate in the inner workings of it all. Take it away, Juice.
What it is, Juice Turkey.
What it is.
All right. So, first of all, this is our Bracket of Blood. We are coming up on the end of possibly the greatest horror decade to ever have existed.
Possibly.
Contestable, but possible.
And so we assume you'll probably be seeing a lot of maybe top 50, top 100, top whatever movies of the decade list coming out. We wanted to put our own kind of special Straight Chillin' stamp on this decade. So we have compiled a list of...
Stain, you missed an opportunity.
Oh, we wanted to stain.
We wanted to stain the decade.
Stain, yes. But we have compiled a list, which it was tough. But we have put together a list of 112 horror films that have come out in the past decade. And we wanted to make a more interactive kind of game out of it. So we have made it into a bracket where you guys can vote with us to help us decide what is the best horror film of the decade. So we're not going to tell you. You tell us what is the greatest.
We want to know. It's probably Tusk, though. I mean, most likely it's Tusk.
Maybe. We'll find out. To kind of get more into it, break down the divisions for us, boys. What are some examples of how this is going to be separated out?
All right. So, yeah, we've got 4 separate divisions, and you're going to have a chance to vote in these 4 separate divisions. They're going to be broken up week to week. So you're going to have a week per division. The first division we got coming up is the Killers division, and that's going to go live December 2nd, Monday, December 2nd. Just to give you an example of some of the movies you can vote on that are going to be included in there. We got Get Out, we got The Guest, we got The Killing of a Sacred Deer, we got The Babysitter. We've got several more movies, but just to give you a little taster, that's what you got to look forward to week 1. Week 2, we're going to move into the Monsters bracket. Give you a little sample of what we got going on there. One Cut of the Dead is included, Attack the Block, Shin Godzilla, and Honeymoon, as well as several others. And Randy, what do we got after that?
So we're going to go into our third division in a few weeks called the Haunters division. Now, this is spooky paranormal stuff. Our first matchup of that division will consider these 4 movies. You'll get 1 vote for these 4 movies, those being Ganjiam the Haunted Asylum. I hope I pronounced that acceptably.
Sounds good.
Deathgasm, The Innkeepers, and Suspiria, 2018.
Whoa, Bob's favorite.
Bob's favorite.
Totally.
The shortest movie Rob's ever seen.
It's just not long enough. It's not.
Is it over already? All right. After that, we will be moving into our Macabre division, which is, for lack of a better term, our Hufflepuff division, where everybody that doesn't fit anywhere else
the
goes.
catch-all dish.
Yeah, it's their catch-all. Yeah, it's the runoff section.
Yep.
And our first matchup for that division, for the Macabre division, is going to be The Bay, The Cabin in the Woods, both 2012s, Good Night Mommy from 2014, and Rubber 2010. So
Rubber.
You can see like Cabin in the Woods, kind of hard to define. Rubber, really goddamn hard to define.
Yeah.
We're looking at some sort of weird things and a couple of movies that could have fit in the others, but just didn't quite make sense. So we got some divisions here that work. Juice, why don't you tell us how they participate in this thing?
So getting into the nitty gritty of this. So we just broke down the weeks. We're going to have week 1 Killers. Week 2 is going to be Monsters. Week 3 is Haunters. Week 4 Macabre. So voting will go live every Monday at midnight. So on those weeks. So for example, December 2nd will kick off our first. That's going to be the Killer. So December 2nd at midnight, we will have polls that will go live. These will be hosted on our website, straightchillingpodcast.com. You can also find them on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're going to be posting links everywhere to enable you guys to vote. And to give you an example of what voting is going to look like. So the guys just gave you 4 movies from each division. So Killers is first. So we're going to have Get Out, The Guest, The Killing of a Sacred Deer, and The Babysitter. And those are all going to be in poll A. So that means for poll A, you get 1 vote. You have to vote on one of those films in that poll. They are going head to head. However, each division is going to have 28 films, which means we have seven different polls for each division. So you essentially get 7 votes each week for each division. So you will have that, for example, Get Out, The Guest, The Killing of a Sacred Deer, and The Babysitter. That is all poll A. You have 1 vote there, but then you can move to poll B, which is a separate 4 films going head to head. You can vote there and so on and so forth.
And that is just round 1. These 4 weeks. That's not even, because there's a wild card round after that where movies that didn't win their 4-up matchup can then be pitted against each other if they have the best turnout of voters. So if you are the highest voters among the highest voted movies among the losers out of Division 1, for example, will go into an eighth wild card round, and then we move on to round 2 after that's done for all of the divisions. This is going to be an undertaking, guys. We need help.
This is intense. Yeah. So after those first 4 weeks, it's not done. That's just round 1. And
that's
like Randy said, and there's going to be a couple in here that like we haven't touched on that are going to be really tough. So if you're sitting there and thinking like, oh my God, how am I going to vote between The Bay and Rubber? How can I do it?
How?
Luckily, if Rubber gets enough votes, the wild card round is going to be week 5. So that is going to be the 4 movies from each division that didn't win but had the highest votes. So if there's a movie that you were hoping would win but you just couldn't choose between the 2, if it gets enough votes, it can move into the wild card division. So maybe it's kind of like a survivor round, maybe it gets a second chance to kind of come back.
The zombie round
toward the round
back
2 where we we really start breaking it down.
The
but
undead zombie. We're really going theme here.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Voting is always going to be a Monday to Friday event. So voting goes live midnight on Monday. You can start voting on those polls. But you have until that Friday. So for instance, Killers will go live December 2nd at midnight. It will be live until Friday, December 6th until 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So after 11:30 Eastern Time, the polls will be shut down and that'll be it. And we will be compiling the winners and announcing them on the next week's show. And then that following Monday, December 9th, will be when the Monsters goes live. So that will go live at midnight. So this is just going to be an ongoing thing that's going to last quite a few months. So just every Monday we're giving something
You're
new.
You're going to be buying Valentine's Day cards before this shit's done. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the projected end date? Was it like mid February? Is that what we're looking at?
Around mid February, we should have the number 1, like down to the single highest voted movie, because they're just going to go head to head through rounds 2, 3, 4. Round 6, I think, is going to be the final round of head to head, and then we will finally have a winner to announce in somewhere around mid-February.
17th, I believe.
Yeah. Nice. So this is taking us into 2020. We're going to find out exactly what the best film of the past decade is. We need your help. We can't do it on our own. So vote. And, rock the vote.
Rock the goddamn vote. Also, before we release the rest of our theme. Before we fucking release these things, let us just go and say we're already sorry that we didn't include your favorite movie. This was really fucking difficult for us to pare down even to a list of 112. The reason this got so big is because we could not bear to get it down any further than that. And man, we had to lose some movies that are certainly important to people, and it's no disrespect to you, but we had to pick something, man. Yeah. And to make this happen, even now, pick some shit.
Even now there's some movies coming out that are great towards the end of the year, and just with the prep and everything might not get included. But it was tough. I mean, when you're working a bracket too, you got to work with certain numbers to make sure everything fits. So 112 was where we landed at. It's a ton of movies. It's a ton of great movies. It's going to be really hard to decide between some of these head-to-heads. But yeah, sorry if your favorite movie is not included. We know there's a ton of good ones that are not on there.
Just know that even if your favorite movie was not included in this 112 films, Rubber was. So
yeah,
sleep well.
So you can, yes, yeah. If your favorite movie is not on this poll, you can be assured that it was personally intended to offend just you.
Yes.
We have your name written down in our death note, and you can expect a call from us later.
Also, we did put a lot of thought into, because some of these matchups are probably going to be harder than others, like choosing between them. They are seeded in a specific manner. Some of it includes Rotten Tomato scores and things like that. So there is a method to the madness a little bit. It does make some of them tougher to choose between, and we're really interested to see where some of these kind of land or end up. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. If you guys find some value in this, if you find yourself voting every week, if you're just interested and you like keeping up with it, please do us a huge favor and share it with whoever you think might also be interested. Because between us, like banging our heads against the walls trying to pick these movies, Justin like spearheading the whole up front, Rob keeping the whole thing from falling apart, and myself putting together the fucking graphics, this shit was a job, and will be for a couple months.
Yeah.
So definitely the biggest event for Straight Chilling, and we wanted to do it to kind of include our listeners. Of course, we love hearing from you guys and participating with you guys, like between our hotline screen that we've had this year and things like that. Really trying to make things more interactive. And so we hope you guys enjoy this. We think the game is going to be really interesting. And of course, the more votes, the more interesting it is, the more kind of opinions that you get and things like that. And I think it's going to be a really fun event overall. Definitely the biggest we've ever done. So I hope you like it.
Consume and validate.
Yes.
So that's our Bracket of Blood. Anything else, boys, we need to talk about for specifics?
I think that covers all the main points. So keep your eyes peeled for this as it rolls out. Like we said, December 2nd is the official start date for the first matchup, the Killers matchup. You can start your voting then. You'll see the rest of the movies included in that bracket. In that division of the bracket. So
we got to tease you a little bit. You don't know what movies are included. You just don't know yet.
28 movies that I don't know, man. Woo! We'll see. So yeah, please join us. Until next time, I guess that's all we got. If you have any questions, reach out. Let us know. We're happy to answer them. And until next time. As always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.